Hi, Dr. Heather here from Wellspring Chiropractic Lifestyle Center. Today we're talking about living in alignment. You know, we are genetically programmed to require certain things. We require certain foods that we have to eat. We are required to move. We're required to breathe air, those kinds of things. But there's another requirement genetically that we actually have, which is to live in alignment with our innate values. And the reason for that is because it did give us a survival and reproductive advantage if we lived in alignment with our innate values. Those innate values that allowed us to fit in with the tribe and to be supported by the tribe and to interact with the tribe. It gave us that survival and reproductive advantage. So when you think about what are innate values, it's that sense that we have of what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad. We have an innate sense of that. And so oftentimes when we think about how do we live our best life, we want to have concrete ideas of what we should do. And it's not so easy when it comes to what our innate values are. But if we have role models that represent those values, that can make it a little bit easier. So a best practice that Dr. Guy Reekman recommends is to think about all the different categories of your life that are important. We call them life value accounts. And those include spiritual, physical, mental, familial, financial, social, and professional. Those are the categories of our lives. And you'll see the subcategories include our faith, how we walk through life, our health, our fitness, our mental state, and our ability to grow, our marriage and relationships, parenting and children, family, how we are spending money and how we are building wealth, our friends, having fun, and having purpose in our life and performance in our profession. So when we look at these core values, we want to use role models that represent the best expression of that value for ourselves. And so Dr. Reekman's idea is to come up with a virtual board of trustees that you can fall back on whenever you have to make a decision in any of those categories of your life. And think about somebody that represents the highest level of value of how you would like that to be expressed. So it might be your mother or your father or some other person you grew up with that was a great role model for you. Or it may be just an artist or even a fictional character. It could be Warren Buffett on running a business. It could be anybody that you come up with in each category that represents that ideal behavior of that value. And then when it's time to make a decision in that category of your life, you simply ask, what would my mother do in this situation? What would Warren Buffett do here? And maybe you might even have me as one of your role models. What would Dr. Heather do here? Perhaps in the health category. So I invite you to use this as a tool and to think deeply about each of these categories and what your optimum behavior is, what your optimum values are with them, and then start to live your life with these values in alignment.